Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fools of a Took, an Australian Lord of the Rings podcast. I'm Michael.
And I'm Nick.
And this week we're coming at you with Chapter 4, A Shortcut to Mushrooms.
Yeah. It's actually such a wholesome chapter.
You'd say wholesome?
Yeah.
It was pretty wholesome.
Yeah, like all up. There's no drama, no like, old mate Pippin being like a little shit.
No, actually, I do have a note of that we do see a variance of character from Pippin from what we've seen so far.
Yeah. Compared to what we've seen so far, he's less of a shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it seemed really nice. Like, mind you, I read this chapter probably, I think about the day, 1 or 2 days after we finished recording the last episode.
Yes.
So it's not all that fresh in my head at the moment.
2 weeks ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We've had some time off.
So literally all I remember is just the key points, but none of the small details.
Okay, well, hopefully...
So, for my benefit, can you give us a quick synopsis?
A quick synopsis. Okay. The Hobbits awaken refreshed from their night with the elves and are ready to continue their journey. They attempt to travel as the crow flies across the country. It gets tricky with thick bush, rough weather, and the Ringwraiths looming.
Ringwraiths.
Yes.
Must be heavy.
Oh, yes. Before long, they reach the land of Farmer Maggot, who Frodo had troubled memories of. But Merry and Pippin turned out to be good friends of his. Mm-hmm. He tells them of a funny customer who is looking for Baggins. Mm-hmm. And after feeding the hobbits a good meal, he took them by cart to the Buckleberry Ferry, where they were met by Merry. And they were on their way once more with a bag of mushrooms as a gift.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, yep. Okay. So I remember. So, yeah. That rings a lot of bells now.
All right.
I completely forgot about them meeting the elves in the last chapter. Yeah, and their journey from there.
Yeah.
Good synopsis. That's a good, TLDR.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah, too long ago. Didn't read.
Well, I try and put a little bit of effort into my little synopsises.
Mm-hmm.
Too long, and you don't want to listen to an hour of who knows what is coming
For all
up.
you lazy buggers out there, you can now tune out. For the ones that actually care, you can listen to our discussion on this.
If all you care about is just what happens, then yeah, that's your 3 minutes done. And you can go back to whatever you're doing for the rest of the day or evening. Mm-hmm. But we're going to talk about what we liked.
Yeah.
Or didn't like. Or found interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have a first thing that was interesting, Nick?
No, I can't remember.
Shall I kick us off then?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Well, my first note was that Pippin he nearly ate all the food. Okay.
That's right. Yeah, the greedy fuck.
Yeah. Pippin's talking about all the food and drink that have been left behind by the elves. Mm-hmm. And it's like, all right, come on, have your breakfast, because Sam and Frodo have just woken up. Or Frodo's just woken up.
Yep.
The bread tastes almost as good as it did last night. I didn't want to leave you any, but Sam did. Sam insisted. So,
Look, at least Pippin was able to communicate that.
At
and
least.
just go, nah, I really like it. You slept in. Stiff shit.
Are you relating to Pippin at this particular juncture, Nick?
Relating to him?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I would just go, yep, I want it. You're asleep. Well, I don't want to wake you up. It's rude to wake you up. It's more rude to wake you up than it is for me to eat the food.
I mean, depending who you are, that's fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure Frodo was grateful that his food wasn't eaten
Yes.
and that he could have a breakfast.
True.
Regardless of the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are many other food eating opportunities, I'm sure.
Yeah, true.
Second breakfast, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, Pippin being a bit of a guts is also depicted in the film with I've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
He's the one that says that. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It all checks out.
Well, I'm gonna admit something.
Yes.
I actually don't know which one is Mary and which one's Pippin.
Oh dear.
Because they're always on screen together, and there's like,
actually.
Mary and Pippin.
Mary and Pippin.
Except for that one bit in the trilogy where they get separated. But in my mind, it's Mary or Pippin.
Okay. Do you want to have a guess? So they get separated. One goes with Gandalf to Minas Tirith. One stays in Rohan and helps Theoden and rides with Eowyn to the war in the third film.
Okay, one of them's Mary, one of them's Pippin.
Yes. Do you want to guess?
I did. One of them's Mary, one of them's Pippin.
No, you need to assign one of them to
I don't know.
events.
Fucking Mary went to... What was the first option?
No, it wasn't that.
Oh. Okay.
Bad luck.
Thank you.
Anyway. Oh, at least this way you won't have the films maybe influencing your opinion on one or the other.
Oh, yeah. My mental image of them just changes depending on when I'm reading it.
Yeah, okay. What's your image at the moment?
For some reason, it's Inigo Montoya from The Princess Bride. That's my image of Pippin in this.
Alright, so I'll read that quote again from Pippin. They have left us food and drink and bread. Come and have your breakfast. The bread tastes almost as good as it did last night. I did not want to leave you any, but Sam insisted.
Prepare to die.
Of course. You were about to starve.
Yeah, exactly.
Prepare to die.
Oh god.
So that's Pippin being a hungry person.
Yep. But yeah, I think the next all this like preamble. In my head it's kind of preamble because it's just like, oh, they're interacting, they're doing bits and pieces, and I think my brain just like skipped a bunch of irrelevant, seemingly irrelevant sections.
Yeah, okay. Because it seems that Pippin's still also a bit out of the blue. Like, he's not in the loop. Just because he keeps asking Frodo all these questions about, like, do we know anything about what we're doing here? Did you ask the elves anything? It's like, I asked them questions. Like, did they say anything? He said, no. And it's like, well, do you think they should have told you? It's like, oh, no, Pippin. Can you stop asking me all these questions?
Yeah.
It's like, did you ask about the sniffing? It's like, we didn't discuss it, said Frodo with his mouth full. It's like, well, you should have. I'm sure it's very important. It's like, in that case, I'm sure Gildor would have refused to explain it. Now, leave me in peace for a bit. I don't want to answer a string of questions while I'm eating. I want to think. Good heavens, said Pippin, at breakfast? And then he walked away. It's like, you want to think while you're eating breakfast, you weirdo?
You reckon like a Hobbit breakfast is like noisy and raucous?
It could be. I was like, yeah, you can just have pleasant conversation.
Or do you reckon breakfast is one of those meals where hobbits actually just typically spend by themselves? And then dinner's that big one.
I can envision all meals being big and communal.
Yeah, okay. So we'll agree on that, and we'll say that Frodo's behavior is uncharacteristic of a hobbit.
Yeah, let's agree on that. We can do that. So Pippin is rightfully confused.
Yeah. I was just like almost affronted.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't blame Pippin for getting upset because he still doesn't. He knows as little as Frodo does.
Yeah.
Pippin's just mad that Frodo doesn't know the answers to the questions, and Frodo was mad the night before that he didn't get any answer to his own questions.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, one thing that was actually really cool that regarding elves is just how Sam still like fanboys about them.
He does, and at the same time, like he seems like his opinion did change, like waver a little bit.
Yeah.
There's just that one little line. It's like, so Frodo's asking him, it's like, well, do you like them still? Now that you've had a closer view?
Yep.
He says, they seem a bit above my likes and dislikes, so to speak. And it's like, it's not really my opinion. I shouldn't decide whether they're
it's
awesome or boring.
Cal's opinion.
Yeah. It's moo.
Yeah. It's a moot point.
It don't seem to matter what I think about them. They are quite different from what I expected. So old and young, and so gay and sad, as it were.
Yeah, and that's another use of the word gay.
Yeah, I think that one was a bit more. Like, I still remember in primary school, like, using that, like, gay means happy, so I'm gay.
Yeah.
It's like everyone, like,
What was it, queer? No, queer was the
one
Queer was the one that stumped us before.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think gay, happy and happy.
yeah, gay was happy.
But then again, that phrase is almost elf-like
True,
because
true.
it's so down the middle.
yeah, it really is.
Like he doesn't express an opinion one way or another. Where he's just like, yeah, I like him, or like, nah,
One-
fuck him. It's just like, ooh, not too bad.
It's one thick grey line down the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not too bad. All things considered.
Yep. Which is what Frodo told Gildor the previous night. Is that,
They're just difficult to talk to.
do not go to elves for counsel, for they will say both no and yes.
Yeah. Actually, it's just like everyone's got one of those friends where you ask them, "Oh, what do you reckon? Do you like this or do you like this?" Well, this one's good. This one's also good too. No, but like then again, like that other option's really like also good for these reasons. And then the second option is actually better for these reasons. And then but then again, you know how I'm like. You know what I prefer. You know, you know, right? What do you think? What?
yeah. Of course. Well, I understand why you think that can be a bit frustrating. But at the same time, no, I'm just trying.
Okay, listeners at home, Mikkel is one of those people. Mikkel can't make up his fucking mind.
No, I'm just I'm willing to see many points of view without taking sides. I have opinions. I project my opinions sometimes.
Okay, you're right.
I didn't say you were wrong.
Okay, so what was the next big thing?
No, there's one more thing that's talked about before they go.
Yeah.
And it was a line that Sam in the films used and reused when I guess like his loyalty is maybe like questioned or whatnot. He says, something Gandalf said. So what did he say? Don't you lose him, Samwise Gamgee. Right? So in the film, it's something Gandalf says to him off screen.
Yep.
But in the book, it's something the elves tell him.
Okay.
All right, so this is Sam retelling his interaction with the elves. All right. Don't you leave him, they said to me. Leave him, I said. I never mean to.
Yep.
I'm going with him. If he climbs to the moon, and if any of those Black Riders try to stop him, they'll have Sam Gamgee to reckon with, I said. And then all his mates laughed at him. It's like, oh, Sam, you're so loyal.
Well, I reckon the elves probably look at him and go, "Oh, look at this little like diminutive thing. Look at this little dog getting all like yappy for their owner."
But then at the same time, they know that at some point down the line, he's going to need you. So there's already this kind of foreshadowing that Sam's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's fair. Actually, because so Glinda and the elves, right?
Gildor, yeah.
Thank you, Gildor and the elves. Are they pure elves, the ones that live for millennia?
Yep.
Type deal. Okay, so for them, Sam being a hobbit is literally like an animal because like dogs are to us.
Yeah, right.
Like,
look at this thing. It's
look at this little thing. They're so naive, so cute. You're gonna die in about like 5 years or something like that to us.
Yeah, 5 relative years.
5 relative years. And it kind of like reminded me of that quote from Invincible. That's been floating around the internet.
Okay.
You haven't seen Invincible yet, have you?
No, I don't know why I haven't seen it, but it seems like something I'd enjoy.
Well, fuck spoilers. It's been out for ages.
Yes, it has.
There is like a particular scene where one of the characters is like describing his relationship to humans,
Okay.
with him being practically immortal.
Right.
Because he's immortal, he sees all humans as just like a pet or another animal.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
their lifespan is so short comparatively. Much like how a hobbit's lifespan is comparatively shorter to an elf.
Right. Wait, what was the quote from Invincible?
Oh, it was just that scenario. I forgot what the quote was.
Oh, okay.
I got distracted.
I thought there was going to be an overarching message here. You said, "Hey, it's like in this
It's like that.
other
Yeah,
thing."
it's like that.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm going with. It was like that. I don't remember if I said it was going to be a quote, but it was like that.
It reminds me of this.
Yes, it reminds you of that. Yes, reminds me of that.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
So, all right. So with this Sam thing, I've got this little reader's companion.
Yep.
And that makes a note of Sam's kind of statement of loyalty here.
Yep.
And it's Sam's relationship to Frodo.
Yep.
And it says it's the status of one who serves as a legitimate master, but the spirit of a friend.
Ah, fair. But then again, is it at this stage, is Sam doing what he's doing because he just wants to protect his major source of income?
I'd say if Sam would have built a good reputation by this point
Okay, that's right.
and could find work elsewhere if he wanted to,
Yep.
he'd be sad about it.
Yep.
But he'd be capable. He's a capable gardener.
Well-
He's looked after the top hole on the hill for years now. So surely he'd be able to find a gardening job at the bottom of the hill, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Actually, one thing that I thought was really cool was, along this similar theme of Sam's devotion, like he agrees to follow whatever Frodo says and decides to do, in spite of his private misgivings and deep regret for missing out on the best beer in the East Farthing. Yeah. Farthing? Yeah, East Farthing.
Yeah, the East Farthing. From what sounds like a beautiful pub, the Golden Perch.
I don't know, going to a pub named after a fish.
Do you know it's named after a fish?
Perch is a fish, isn't it?
It is a fish.
Fish can be golden.
It can be golden.
Ergo.
Such as a golden goldfish.
Yeah. Ergo, golden perch is a fish. I could be wrong. It could just be a pedestal made of gold.
Actually, I'm in my little reader's companion. It's got a bit about the Golden Perch.
Yeah.
The name is not recorded for any inn or pub in Britain, so there's not an actual Golden Perch that Tolkien took inspiration from and just put it in here. Though there are many with golden, such as the Golden Cross, which was once on Cornmarket Street in Oxford. Fun fact. And a few named perch, including 3 in Oxfordshire. Tolkien describes this as an inn name, probably one favoured by anglers. In any case, perch is the fish name. And
Ta-da!
And not a land measure or bird perch.
See? Golden perch.
The golden fish.
The golden fish. Anyway.
You don't want to go there?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can't swim.
Yeah, I can't swim. I don't like
wouldn't
water,
want
so no thank you.
You wouldn't want anything to do with.
I don't want anything to do with anglers. Unless it's just like... If it's favoured by anglers, imagine the smell.
Yeah, okay, true. Yeah.
It's just going to smell like a fish market.
But it's going to be really good beer.
Yeah, true.
Would it be worth it if it's the best beer in the East Farthing?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. You go in for a pint and then you'd leave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do.
Would you stay for 2 if it was that good?
Nope.
Okay. I mean, all right. Okay. After the whole smells like fish thought, all right, I probably wouldn't go there either.
Exactly.
Okay.
What happens here? Yeah, and then they walk along the road.
They start walking and they decide they're going to go in as straight a line as possible to the ferry.
Oh, so so at this point they've decided, well, fuck it, we're gonna just go point A to point B. This motherfucker, skip the road.
Yep. Don't go on the road because then the Black Riders will find us.
Yep.
And hopefully this way we'll remain hidden and hopefully we'll get to our destination that much sooner.
Yeah, look, it didn't really work out that well for them.
No, it didn't at all. It makes me think of are there any shortcuts you tried to take that didn't end up being short at all?
Oh, many.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But knowing me, I would have gone, yeah, that makes total sense. I'm just going to go in a straight line from point A to point B, and all of a sudden, nope. I still have to go around anyway. But I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Well, actually, no. We're playing Breath of the Wild. Yeah, that similar thing happens. Where I go, we're going to go point A to point B. Point A, point B, straight line. Nope. There's a fucking mountain in the middle.
Oh, no. Yeah. So
Stuff like that.
Did you climb over the mountain or did you go around it?
I used the motorcycle.
A motorcycle?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, this is DLC. One of the DLC quests gives you a motorcycle.
Right. Now that's just crazy.
And it's fueled by like apples and fruit and stuff. That's it.
Wow. The Legend of Zelda really has taken a turn, hasn't it?
It's so cool as well because like it's styled in the same way as like the ancient gear. It looks really pretty.
Oh, it would be too.
Yeah.
I bet it looks fantastic, but it's just not what I was expecting.
Anyway, so they're going through the bushes and like the thickets and stuff, like into the thick of it.
Yep. Into the thick of it. Did you mean that?
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Of course.
I was going to say, because that was just too good. What else?
Oh,
And
yeah,
then they
so-
sang a song. This song,
Yep.
it had some familiar lines.
Did it?
All right. So when we're still in the Shire in the films, and Merry and Pippin are leading a song, and everyone in the Green Dragon is singing along, but only I think it's like the first 4 lines are in the film, and then they put in different lines that we haven't seen yet. They put different lines at the end.
Okay.
Okay. So it's like, ho, 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 to the bottle I go, to heal my heart and drown my woe. The rain may fall and the wind may blow, and many miles till I go. I don't know, something like that.
That sounds about right.
And they go, sleep to the sound of the pouring rain. And then I can't remember how the rest goes.
Nah.
Doesn't sound familiar to you?
Nope.
My lovely singing voice didn't snap any memory gears.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. I got no clue. But like I said in the last chapter, I just skipped the songs.
I mean, you don't have to read what they say, but at least in this case, them singing the song just kind of like the act of them singing played a part in the progression of the story.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're just doing that. They're having a good time. Yeah. They're having a little bop.
Yeah, they're having a bop. And then all of a sudden, then they start hearing a long drone. Oh, yeah, the first screech of the story. It's not well, Tolkien didn't describe it as a screech. It's a long-drawn wail which came down from the wind, like a cry of some evil and lonely creature.
Humpback or sperm?
Let's say sperm. Why are those my options?
A long drawn wail.
You've got the book in front of you. You know it's not a W-H-A-L-E whale. It's whale as in W-A-I-L.
I still appreciate it.
Wow. A long-drawn whale. I bet you suppose it's on a piece of paper as well.
Yeah.
An A1 piece of paper, no less, so it can be drawn longer. God, Nick. Come on. You're killing us here. You're killing us.
Oh, anyway.
You know, I'm putting that in so the audience can listen to what I just had to listen to. And they can have the same moment that I just had. Does that sound good?
Yep.
Sounds great.
Sounds good.
Sounds great. So the first screech.
First screech.
The first screech.
Yep. Sperm whale.
Yep, as it turns out. All right, we'll just move on from that then. So now they approach a farm.
Okay. Yep.
Farmer Maggot. All right. In the film, Farmer Maggot, we never see them.
Yeah, we just hear him.
We hear him.
Yeah.
And we can see his like scythe. I think it's a scythe or like a fork.
Like a fork-looking thing.
I'm so sorry that this is an audio thing, but I'm doing something with my hands to try and make the shape of the farming tool that Farmer Maggot has. And it's really tall, and it's taller than all the I think they're in cornfields or something. Something really tall, but you can see his thing
Right. Well,
above that. It made me think that Farmer Maggot was tall,
yeah.
or at least
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Yep.
was one of the big folk,
Yep. Yep.
A big farmer looking after his big crop.
Okay, so Farmer Maggot, the big boy, angry fella, going for the corn.
Because Merry and Pippin keep stealing his food.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I wish this interaction with Farmer Maggot was in the films because it's just so nice and wholesome.
It's a nice interaction.
Yeah, whereas like in the film, Farmer Maggot is a grumpy. Actually, he's
Stay out of my field.
yeah, rightfully so because his livelihood's been stolen by a bunch of hobbits.
Yeah. You can hear the dogs. You can hear the dogs in the film.
Yep.
And so in the book, he's got 3 dogs.
Yep.
What are the names of the dogs? You ask. Grip, Fang, and Wolf.
Wolf? Like, ow or wolf?
A wolf.
Oh, a wolf. Do you reckon it's a wolf or it's just like the runt of the litter and it's gonna call it wolf?
I think the latter. I don't think it's a real wolf. Plus, if that was the case, then it'd be very unimaginative to call your wolf wolf.
I remember I was thinking there was a joke, or just one of those stupid names and stuff like you meet someone and the nickname's Liz and go, oh, what's it short for? Lizard.
Oh, right.
Or
Okay.
or like Denise and Denephew, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's a joke from the new Ghostbusters film. And
Okay.
one of the characters is like, oh, I'm gonna bring my cat to work.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you have a cat? No. His name's my cat. He's a dog. Huh? Yeah, his name's Mike Hat.
So yeah, the wolf is
Ooh.
is named Awul Wolf, but
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't believe it's an Awul Wolf. It's just a dog.
It's a wolf.
Yes.
Okay.
And we can hear the dogs in the film, and then they just run away.
Yeah. They yeet out of there, and then we don't really see
Yeah.
anything else with the maggots.
Yeah. I don't know why he's so upset. It's only a couple of carrots and some cabbages. And then the mushrooms, we left him last week. And then then the potatoes, we left him last week. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And then the mushrooms the week before. Yes, Pippin. My point is, he's clearly overreacting.
Oh, yeah, and that's like the mushrooms bit is a fun callback to this chapter.
Although, no, the callback in the film was they fall off the cliff
Yeah.
at the end of the farm. They land near some poop.
Yep.
And Pippin says, "Ooh, that was close." And then they fall down. Sam says, "Trust a brandy buck and a toque." And Mary says, "Ah, that was just a detour. A shortcut." Sam says, "Shortcuts are what?" Pippin spots it, goes, "Mushrooms!" And then that's the callback.
Ah, that's the callback. Cool. I don't remember that scene, but cool.
No, obviously, because you thought Pippin saying that they took mushrooms from the farm a week ago was the callback. But it was clearly something more obvious. So that's what happened in the film. That's all we see of Farmer Maggot. Whereas in the book, the hobbits see him. And they get to talk to him.
Yeah, they get to like fully interact with him. He brings him into his home.
Yeah.
Actually, he's a bit the vibe I was getting with Farmer Maggot. It's like Old Mate from the second Hobbit film.
Bayorn?
Yeah, Bayon. Yeah, like he just invites these people into his. I was picturing like that kind of vibe in like that kind of interior vibe.
Okay. So kind of like a barn, but
Yeah.
like a big wooden thing of a house.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
like
okay.
I was picturing that kind of vibe.
All right. I mean, that sounds really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, a farm. And he's got a wife. There's Mrs. Maggot, and they got a few children.
Yep, and a few employees, I guess.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah,
people of the house or people of the land. 1 or 2 other hobbits belonging to the farm household.
Ooh, hang on. Belonging to the farm household.
Yeah.
Do you reckon the hobbits were bought by the maggots,
Possibly.
like a slave type scenario.
That's a new element that we haven't really seen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
it could also be like, I don't know, farming, you know?
Yeah, or it could just be like, really wholesome vibes. Yeah, they're part of the household. Yeah, part of the family kind of thing. But what if?
What if?
What if hobbits are actually like an allegory for the lowest socioeconomic status people in society?
Wow.
And so if you contextualize it that way, throughout the entire film series, think of it, the hobbits are just like the most unassuming folk.
I mean, they are the most unassuming, but in the film, I guess it's depicted that way because of their size and the way they just keep to themselves.
And perhaps that's a fun allegory for a disadvantaged group in our society.
Uh-huh.
Like seemingly small in stature, keeping to themselves,
Yeah.
like not reaping the benefits of systems that disadvantage them. Like when we see the hobbits, apart from in their own environment,
Yeah.
they're in spaces that aren't built for them. They go to the Green Dragon and they can barely look up at the bar person.
Oh, at the Prancing Pony
Yeah, sure.
in Bree. Yeah.
Yeah, that place. Yeah.
At the place with the big people.
Yeah. So they're looking up and they can barely speak to the bar person eye to eye.
Yeah.
And so if you frame it that way, you can think like that interaction with the bar person is seemingly a bit like that bar person's an ally, but they're not quite like an ally that means really well, but not truly an ally, you know?
Yeah. Like they're still treated differently.
Yeah.
It would be mostly, I don't know, I imagined because of like just mostly a logistics based kind of thing. But that there is a difference in which way that they are treated.
Yeah.
Whether it's well intended or like a positive interaction or not.
Yeah. Well, then again, speaking from experience, like, it doesn't matter if it's well intentioned.
Of course.
Because someone can come up to me and go, "Oh, you speak very good English," but that good intention is still thickly veiled with racism. Much like how if you think about it, like if the hobbits are framed to be like people of color, for example,
Right.
and the bar person speaking to him, like it could come across that way.
It could.
I really like that theory. What if hobbits are an allegory for that?
Wow.
And so if you think about all the stuff they do and all the stuff, it actually gives that much more gravity to their achievement.
Yeah. It really does. It really does.
And so that final scene where something you don't bow to anyone.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, man, that's huge. I mean, yeah, it was already a big deal.
Yeah, already a big deal.
Because no one assumes the Hobbit.
Yeah,
But
even
now
more a big
with
deal
this-
now.
yeah.
So with that, I actually reckon I'm gonna continue on with the idea that these hobbits are owned by Farmer Maggot.
Yep. And there's a whole
There is
element of
of classism.
yeah, between hobbits and the rest of the world kind of thing.
Which actually complicates this interaction a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if those hobbits are owned by the household, they're looking at these hobbits, like the Pippin, Merry, Sam, and Frodo, and going, "These motherfuckers, what the fuck are they doing here?"
All right. Actually, is it worth pointing out?
What?
Farmer Maggot is also a hobbit.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Never mind.
So
You didn't tell what?
So in the film, we never see Farmer Maggot, but we see the height of his garden tool, and it's taller than his crops. So I was led to assume that they were one of the big folk.
Yep. Okay. Never mind.
But
there goes my theory.
In the book, Farmer Maggot turns out to be a hobbit.
Oh, this entire time,
Yeah,
I've been thinking Farmer Maggot is a big fella.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if you've already listened to the last hell of a long of me talking about some smart theory about hobbits being a people of color, fuck it. Just forget that. Never mind.
At least for now. I mean, there could be some other hobbit slavery thing that happens at some point in the story, but I don't know. We can save it for later.
I don't like it.
I'm sorry.
Why'd you have to tell me that? I put so much time and effort into thinking about that.
I mean, you would have found out eventually. I mean, it's
No,
in the
wouldn't.
book. It's in the book. If I didn't tell you, someone else would have.
Fine.
Through the gate, there now appeared a broad, thick-set hobbit with a round red face.
Huh?
Hello, hello, and who may you be, and what may you be wanting? He asked. Good afternoon, Farmer Maggot. Or Mr. Maggot, said Pippin.
What?
So yeah, that's...
What?
Yeah.
We got the same book? What? Oh, never
yeah.
mind.
Yes, we do have the same book.
Yep, okay, never mind. Ignore me. Okay, oh good.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so they have this wholesome moments with other hobbits,
Yeah.
with non-slaved hobbits.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, they could be slaved hobbits. They are hobbits, people of the house.
Okay, the people that the farm workers, they had that thing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They have what, beer,
Ah, yeah.
a mighty dish of mushrooms, bacon.
Which means that there are pigs in the Shire. Or Middle Earth.
Actually, yeah, that actually doesn't sound too bad. Beer, mushrooms, bacon.
Simple. Surely some bread.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind some bread with mushrooms and bacon.
Nah, your carbs is the beer.
Yeah, true.
That's all your macros sorted. Done.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so they do all that, and then and then Maggot tells him that the ring weight,
the ring.
the ring weight came along, and
The weight of the ring appeared.
came along sticky beaking.
Screechies came screeching. But again, this became another conversation. But we actually got to see some more dialogue from the Ringwraith this time.
Yeah, okay.
So-
So they are capable of talking more than Peter Jackson lets on in the film.
Yes.
Yep.
Already there's more dialogue on one page than what they get in the films combined.
They deserve justice. They deserve more lines.
I mean, I don't know. There was an image you had to, I don't know. Might have been consistency thing. You think of like this really dark, overpowering, super scary, human-shaped thing
Yeah.
in a big dark cloak,
Yeah.
and you know,
And then
it
out
makes
pops,
a screech.
and then out pops a high pitched voice.
A long wail, yes, a long drawn wail.
Long.
Right? And then all of a sudden, a couple of pages later, there's this whole conversation that he has with them.
Or do you reckon like the Ringwraith has got like an Eton like a refined Eton accent?
I mean, you can give another example if you like. You gave, what was it, Valley Girl last week?
Actually, no. What's funnier, the Black Rider coming up to you with like this polished British accent, or one coming up to you with like they get this a really squeaky, high pitched voice, like the one of the pirate lords from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, that one.
You're going to war.
Hi. Right.
What would you
okay.
rather? Clearly, we're writing the script for Lord of the Rings, the pantomime. So,
Oh, absolutely, aren't we, Just? Okay, so we've got some lines here. We can work with this.
Okay.
Let's workshop this a little.
well, actually, no, I got one better. The Ringwraiths actually have the same accent as Goofy.
Oh God. Okay.
Yuck! I come from yonder.
Okay, I'll give it a go. Would you like to read Farmer Maggot's lines?
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
All right.
Good day to you. This lane don't lead anywhere, and wherever you may be going, your quickest way will be back to the road.
I come from yonder.
Yuck.
Have you seen Baggins? Farmer Maggot says it's a queer voice. I mean, Goofy would be unfamiliar in those parts.
Okay, what's next one? Be off. There are no Bagginses here. You're on the wrong part of the Shire. You better go back west to Hobbiton, but you can go by road this time.
Well, Baggins left. He is coming. He's not far away. I wish to go find him. If he passes, well, you'll tell me. I'll bring back some gold. I know there are some bits, so it wasn't exactly goofy.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Unrehearsed? I'd say, yeah, okay, all right.
That's really good.
I need one of his yelps, you know.
Yo.
But he does. I don't know.
Maybe
nothing
that's
happens here.
that's the long whale. The long whale is the goofy scream.
Yo-hoy! That funny.
Imagine how creepy that would be. You pull back the cloak and you got the Goofy's long nose sticking out.
Sora, I found him. And then we cross into another universe of Kingdom Hearts. Fantastic.
And then Sauron's voice is actually Mickey Mouse.
I mean, we're going to wait for Sauron to get lines in this, and then we're going to play, but...
What would be funny, like, Sauron...
I see. Oh, I can't do it. Oh,
like...
I can't do the Mickey Mouse voice.
Or he's actually got, Donald Duck.
Actually, I've got a mate. I used to live with him. I lived with him a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
He does an amazing Donald Duck impersonation. Actually, he went on. There was a Triple J competition.
Oh yeah.
And he was in the top 4 for just like Triple J's Got Talent kind of thing.
I thought you were trying to say the competition was the best Donald Duck.
No. So he made the top 4 of just bring your talent that you can talk about over the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
And he made the top 4.
That's awesome.
I voted for him. He didn't win though, but dude, he made it. He was still.
It just it reminds me of that prank that some husband played on his wife. Best Wookiee roar.
Oh.
And he put the flyers up around his town.
And the phone number,
was hers. and all she got was just these people were trying to do Wookiee noises.
Was it just a random person's phone number, or was it a prank to try and get back at someone?
I reckon it was his wife.
Because that's brilliant. I love that. I just wish that some of it was recorded, you know, because...
And just a compilation of people trying to make Wookiee noises.
Yeah.
Because you have people that can do it well, and then others are just like, ugh.
Then, just trying to think about it, it's like, I swear, if this is another one of those bloody Wookiee people... Like, it's like the John Cena prank call thing that this radio show did.
Huh?
You know that one?
No.
Oh, this one's brilliant. They just call up this... someone's called up a radio station and said, hey, I've got a prank idea. Can you call my wife? And just keep pretending that you're promoting like WWE content.
Okay.
And say that, you know, you're going to see John Cena take on whoever.
Yeah.
So they call her and said... Hello, would you like to buy tickets to see John Cena? And then it plays like the John Cena music. Do. And then it's like, no, we don't want any more wrestling in this house. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And then they go, hello, who is it? Come see John Cena. And it's like, no, you just called me. And no, I still don't want any of your service. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Dude, they call her like 7 times, and every time it gets funnier and funnier. And they pick her up and they call her another time. If this is those bloody WWE people again, it's like, oh, hi, I'm sorry. I'm just wondering if you'd like to make a donation to like our soldiers and brave men and women who have been fighting. It's like, oh yeah, oh my god, I'm sorry. And it's like, and see John Cena as he makes it.
Okay.
What's this podcast about?
John Cena! Anyway,
where were we?
a hook?
What was the last... Oh, yeah, it was the Goofy thing.
Yes,
right.
okay, so...
Anyway.
Goofy
Goofy.
as Ringwraiths.
Yeah.
So they do that, yeah, so that happens, and then They're having dinner. Yeah, and then the really wholesome thing that Farmer Maggot does really steps it up. Like, top move. Just give him a ride to the ferry.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Already, like, gives him a meal and a drink and, you know.
Doesn't even ask for gas money. Just like, yeah, okay.
But yeah, gives him a ride down to the ferry because it's like, well, I mean, you'd probably be better off taking the cart rather than walking, right? If you want to avoid these people. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, you got a point. I'll stay for dinner.
Yeah. Well, don't want to be rude.
I don't want to be rude. I wouldn't turn that down. That's a very wise move by Frodo to take that on.
So
it's like, oh, I don't want to stay for dinner. We should probably be going quickly rather than have more delays. There's people after us kind of thing. I was like, well, I was actually saying stay for dinner and I'll take you on my cart and then you'll be even safer. I was like, oh, right. Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah. So that was really kind of him.
Oh, super kind. I was like, especially because Frodo, I mean, Farmer Maggot laughs about it nowadays, but Frodo was actually someone who stole from Farmer Maggot.
Yes.
Like 30 years before this.
Yes, like in his 20s, yeah.
Yeah, in his tweens.
Yeah, in his tweens, yeah, he stole mushrooms. Just mushrooms.
Yeah, he stole mushrooms. And it's like he was caught stealing mushrooms once.
Yeah.
And
fucked him for life. Like, terrified him.
Like, he said he beat him.
Did I stutter?
And then, well, yeah. No, you didn't. But then, like, I don't know, just thought of the imagery in my mind. It's like, wait, like, Frodo was just beaten. And then, I mean, he threatened the dogs to eat him if Frodo came back. Frodo didn't think, well, actually, the dogs probably wouldn't have actually eaten me. I mean, they have other food.
Yeah.
But
all over just one enoki mushroom. They're the small, teeny tiny ones that you get at hot pot.
The string mushrooms. Yeah, right. I mean, we don't know what kind of mushrooms they are. It could have been a whole variety of mushrooms. We don't know.
Yeah, so this person that beat the shit out of him now wants to give him a ride.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how to respond to that. Yeah. But Sam knew how to respond to that. He was very suspicious of him.
Yeah, look, that's fair.
It's like he drank the beer suspiciously. That's what it says in the book. Says, Sam sipped his beer suspiciously. He had a natural mistrust of the inhabitants of other parts of the Shire, and also he was not disposed to be quick friends with anyone who had beaten his master, however long ago.
That's fair.
So, I mean, like, regardless of how nice Farmer Maggot is being up to this point, it's like, no, dude, you beat the shit out of my friend. I mean, also, Frodo was a thief at the same time.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, now knowing that Farmer Maggot's a hobbit...
Yes.
It actually doesn't make it that much more... It doesn't seem that much more scary. And also, like... Because I was picturing Farmer Maggot human.
Yes.
And so Farmer Maggot being a human being the shit out of the hobbit... It's massive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's
Frodo's... terrifying.
Frodo wouldn't walk away easily.
And so that probably makes sense why Frodo is so reluctant and all that stuff. And also because of that, it just makes it extra wholesome that Farmer Maggot brings them to the ferry. This is still wholesome, but not as wholesome as, if he were human.
Yeah.
Therefore, I think Farmer Maggot should be human in Lord of the Rings. Thank you for attending my TED Talk.
And that can still unlock your whole Hobbits and are an allegory for people of color or...
Yes! Yes!
Yeah.
So they do all that. He takes them down there and then to the wharf, the harbor.
To the ferry?
The ferry. And then there's a clip-clop motherfucker turn up.
There's a clip-clop motherfucker. And everyone's hiding under, like, sheets. And it's like, all right, don't let them see you.
Yep.
Farmer Maggot's like, don't worry, I'll just turn this guy back like I did before.
Yep.
And then Sam, bless his soul, he's like, I'll get with Farmer Maggot. He won't get past me, Mr. Frodo, don't you worry. And then it's fucking Merry.
Yeah.
And I was reading along and I'm like, man, wow, like this is getting pretty tense, and then it got me good.
Yeah, it was a really good reveal.
That was a good fake out.
Yeah, I've been very careful while reading Lord of the Rings to read line by line. I've told you about this before, but when I'm reading, I have a bad habit of reading the second page while reading the first page.
I have no idea how you do that. Reading 2 pages at once.
No, it just my brain does it. Like
That's incredible.
so, it just jumps between the two of them, and so I pick up details about pages. But I've been extra careful with reading one by one, line by line.
Yep.
And this paid off really well.
Oh,
It was a really good review.
well, I'm glad. I'm glad. Thank goodness, because it really caught me off. Let's say, and it's Mary. It's like, hey, there you are. And it's like, oh my god, it's Mary.
Yeah, this is nice. Like a nice reunion for them. And it's like, oh, is it Mary? Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
And I didn't realize. I was like, what took you so long? I was like, I just remember that Mary has no idea what just happened. Like, he has no idea these Black Riders exist.
Yeah.
We got to catch him up now.
He's probably expecting to find them at the Golden Perch or something.
I mean, yeah, that's fair enough. So I would have. First place I would have looked was.
Yeah,
the
if your
pub.
best mates were a bunch of boozos, you go, oh yeah, where would they be? They'd be at the pub that sells the best beer near East Farthing.
Yeah, naturally. I was like, why didn't you just take the road? You would have been here by now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, that was really cool. I really liked that chapter.
That was a fun chapter. Would you say that's your favorite chapter so far?
Yes.
Number 1 out of 4.
Yep. This one's the best one out of the 4 chapters. Easiest to read, like new content.
Yep.
It was just Whereas the other ones, this one didn't have as much bullshit.
Just like they tried to travel this way, and the scenery was pleasant, but the rain was coming soon. I mean, there was a little bit of
And just like the shit with Gilbert and the elves. I'm just like, ugh.
Gilbert.
What?
Gildor.
Thank you, Gildor and the elves. I don't know. That chapter was a bit like bleh, and then I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting into it more. So I'm like, and it's just gonna go up and up from here.
All right, yeah. Like the traveling, the story is progressing.
Yep.
We're making some headway now.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. We're still in the Shire though.
Oh, yeah, true. But we're getting there.
Yeah. So we're still just getting started, buddy.
Yep.
Only 4 chapters in.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, since we're up to this point, have we had any interactions from fans on your end that you wanted to give a shout out to? We've got some. We have received some feedback from one of our avid listeners, Jono.
Oh yeah. I haven't heard from Jono actually in the past week.
What do you say? I was just like, keep doing what you're doing. Don't have kids.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair call.
It was after when I think that was for chapter 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, when chapter 2 came out, because it was talking about our points on asking children why.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So if you ask them why, then it helps with their decision making. I think it just scratched the surface of what the real philosophy behind that is. Mm-hmm. We just covered it in a really basic sense.
Yeah, we're not wrong, but we're not right either.
I can't remember if Jono had any other points about that. I could still have children. I wouldn't have them now, but I care for them. I wouldn't own one.
So you wouldn't own one, you'd lease one out.
Oh, I wouldn't do that either. I'd get paid to look after one. That's what I do. That's what I am doing.
Shout out to one of our listeners, Miss Bron. Thank you for giving your feedback to us regarding the use of the word queer and gaffer.
And gaffer?
Yeah. So queer, as we've speculated, it was a term used to refer to like something that was weird, someone that was weird, something that was weird. Like it was a bit queer. Oh, it was a bit weird.
Yeah, just like unusual.
Yeah.
But do we know the journey from unusual to what we now know as the queer community?
Oh.
That was the only thing I didn't know.
Oh. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, but
Ron, if you know the answer to that, please help us.
But they did explain to me the term gaffer.
Yeah, so gaffer. So Ham Gamgee.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as the gaffer.
Yep.
But why is he known as the gaffer?
Just like saying old mate.
Old mate. Old mate Gamgee.
Yeah. There's the gaffer. The old mate.
I mean, I say old mate when when I've forgotten what their name actually is.
Yeah, okay, maybe not old mate. Maybe like, buddy, champ, pal.
Mate.
Mate.
Just mate?
Yeah, like mate.
Oh, cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Is it cheers, gaffer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that all it is?
Yeah, apparently.
Why is no one else the gaffer?
No one else, like, maybe it's a title you have to earn.
There is only one gaffer in the Shire.
Yeah. Or, like, it's a trial by death. Trial by... There can only be one gaffer.
Ham Gamgee goes in with his gardening shears. Takes down...
The old
gaffer.
The old gaffer, and then carries on the
gaffer tradition.
The gaffer tradition. Or maybe it's like the Sith. There can only be two.
So there's another gaffer somewhere in the Shire.
An apprentice.
An apprentice. Yeah, of course.
An apprentice gaffer. And so it's up to the apprentice to kill the master gaffer and become the master gaffer.
So would the apprentice gaffer also be known as the gaffer?
Maybe like a gafferito?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I got one more shout out. I just want to give a shout out to mate of mine, Peregrine.
Go on.
Nickname Pippin.
There's an actual Pippin who listens to this show.
There's an actual Pippin who listens to the show. So, hello Pippin. Thank you for giving us your support.
Oh, Peregrine. It's wonderful to meet you across the waves of podcasting. Wow. That's fantastic.
Like, you can't have a name like that without receiving a shout out on the Lord of the Rings podcast.
Yeah, I'm curious now. Were their parents Lord of the Rings fans? Is that how they get Was there another source of why they're named Peregrine?
I'm gonna say I don't actually know this, so I'm guessing they were fans of falcons.
Falcon enthusiasts.
Yeah, they're just like Peregrine Falcon. Peregrine, yeah, it's a good name.
The Peregrine Falcon.
Yeah.
All right. So
I'm actually hoping it's because of Lord of the Rings, but I gotta hedge I gotta diversify.
Yeah, make us all aware of the possibilities here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's either Lord of the Rings fans or
Falcon fans.
Falcon fans.
Yeah. But yeah.
I don't know. All right, we'll see. We'll see what it is. Peregrine, we look forward to hearing from you again.
Yeah.
I didn't get any messages personally. So please, if you're enjoying the show so far, please let us know. Because the more we hear from you, the better we get.
Yep.
And we always want to get better.
And if you have any ideas of ways that we can make this show better, let us know.
Yeah.
We may or may not take it on, or we might internalize it and sit on it for weeks on end, fretting about the amount of work that we put into this podcast and people not actually liking it and all that stuff, and internalize the trauma. But
our line is open.
Exactly.
Alrighty, I'm Mikkel.
And I'm Nick.
And we are Fools of a Took.
Bye.
Bye.
What's that? This, my friend, is a pint. It comes in pints.
Oh,
I can get you one.
a fool. But an honest fool he remains.